It's it's just before 9 a.m. on Friday 23rd of March. This is the view of the back garden, the end of the back garden at number 173 Gosport Road. We turn the camera and we look over the fence. We can see work has been done on the adjoining property 175 Gosport Road, and there is now a fence with a membrane over much of that section of their back garden. This work was carried out by Fareham Borough Council after the incident in which the fence dividing the two properties collapsed in onto 173. This area is now clear, although it is strewn with rough cut on the far side, as you can see, and has been fenced off early at the back with an area behind. If we come back into 173, we'll see that fence panelling that yesterday was removed without our consent by workmen who were in 175 has been replaced. Our pictures show that this fence panelling, although old, was in relatively secure condition, and certainly we had no intention or belief that it needed to be replaced straight away. Nobody sought our consent, my son's consent, or informed him that they were planning to rip out this fencing yesterday. This came hours after Fareham Borough Council informed us that the fencing was my son's and his responsibility. The second panel here has suffered considerable damage. If you see, the top is a gaping hole, holes elsewhere, and at the bottom all the panelling has been smashed out. There is no rod, no wood at the bottom there at all. Easily enough room for a young adventurous child to get through. Here's the third panel. You'll see a stake that was put up against it last night as it collapsed inwards to 173. This morning it's bent the other way in the wind. Whatever support was given to it on the post was completely insufficient, and it's now collapsing into 175 with only one panel there to stop it. If we come back, we'll see the standard of the workmanship, which includes protruding screw head there, just about more than a foot off of the ground. In an area where my son's 3 young children should be entitled to play, and where we're planning a gardening and play centre for them. This is the fourth panel that's put up, and we'll come here and see that this is slightly askew. The rod that, or the central post, sorry, that's going down into the neighbour's area, and down here we see the post holder that was and is now being moved slightly to the left. But if I stand here and then come back, we can see that the garden has now at this point been narrowed, because the next panel in has been placed at an angle into my son's garden, coming over the boundary, and the last panel is flush with that. So 2 panels worth at the end of the garden. The land in this garden at 173 has been reduced, and the reason is that although we asked for the tree and the other debris that was causing the original problem, pushing these 2 panels into 173 to be removed, they have not been. In fact, now this is a pile of debris. If I pan around it, you can see that it's right up to the new line of the fence, so it's over the border into 173. It consists mainly of chopped down foliage, including the tree from yesterday, but you can see that there are also fence panels in there. Underneath yesterday there were, or before yesterday, there were lots of containers. We knew not what they contained. We don't know whether they're under there or not. I pan across, you can see more panelling here. This foliage is transgressing into number 173, And I believe, as we look there and see Redlands Junior School where the children play at the end of this, I believe is in many ways a health hazard. We don't know what's in it, and this looks to me like the sort of area that rats or other vermin might think was a very good place for them to live. So that is what has happened at number 173 Gosport Road in Fareham.